All right, today I'm fixing to go over a long form video, which you guys have been asking me about. I don't really know much about it. I've only been doing shorts, just kind of getting after it. But you guys have been asking about my gun belt. So I'm gonna show you guys why I have everything where it is and the position that it's at and why I have it on my gun belt. A lot of people are gonna say, oh, you don't need that on your gun belt. What? I don't care, man. I'm just gonna tell you why it works for me, and then you go figure it out on your own. So we're gonna go after the belt, and we're gonna go after the new belt, show you guys some attachments, and we'll kind of get after it from there. All right, one of the first most important things, I think it goes hand in hand with the IFAK on the most important on the belt, is the holster. Now, a lot of people didn't ask me what the holster is, so I'm gonna show you guys what the holster is and then why I have it where I have it. I know you guys are gonna say, oh, the right hand because you're right-handed, obviously, but the position that I put it in, and then I'm gonna show you when I put the belt on, how exactly I position it, and we're gonna go through about the screws, how to adjust it, put it where you like, you'll be able to see, and we can go from there. All right, so when putting on the belt, every time it's a bitch, I don't care who you are, no one makes it look perfect. The most important thing for me is, and the reason I have this gun a little loose, you can see right here, I can rotate it as much as I want, because personally for me, I move it around a bunch. But basically, you put that gun where you want it first before you put your belt on. You don't line up something. I don't like, oh, I want it perfectly middle, so I'm gonna line it up. Then your gun's off. So when you put your gun belt on, right where you want it, bring it in, click it in. So for me, see how I can move it around? Sometimes, I don't know why, don't ask me why, it just happens. Sometimes I like it when it's shifted forward, so then when I pull, I can get after it. Sometimes I like it when it's tilted back. I don't know, maybe if I'm hip shooting or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You guys have seen it. But I can able to adjust it like that. That's why I leave it a little loose on my belt. Now, when I say loose, I don't mean that when I'm running or getting after it, that it's like flying around on my belt. I'm putting this thing on tight enough to where, you know, I can jump around, I can move, I can do whatever, if I need to take a knee, whatever it is. That gun's not going nowhere. Plus I got the locking mechanism in there to keep that gun basically squared away. So what I want to go over next is the actual holster, how I ordered it. See, getting these things off, a little bit of a bitch too. Anyways, I'll explain to you guys. This I ordered off of Safariland. I know they're a little bit expensive. I think I paid like $250 after taxes or something like that. Then it takes about a month or two to get them sent to your house. But you have to customize them, so that's the one tricky thing about them. If you got another Echelon, but you don't have a 507 comp and a TLR 7X, and you have an insight light, that insight light won't fit in here. So you kind of have to gauge on what you order with the gun. But I had mine custom made. Mine's a 6390 RDS, and then it's an ALS mid-ride duty holster, level 1 retention. I know that sounds like gibberish. It sounds like gibberish to me for years. I've been using these for years. I was like, man, I just need a damn holster. So I started doing a deep dive. If you go on to Safariland's website, on their YouTube, they kind of explain to you what the level retentions mean. Basically, I do level 1 retention, so mine's just a thumb. You can see in here, when the gun clicks in, I can't pull it out. And for me, I get that purchase on the grip and I flip my thumb down. Puts my gun right where I need it to be. And then it came with the protector for the sight or whatever. But I added mine so that it had the TLR 7X light, and then it had the HOLOSUN 507 comp, or similar to like a Trijicon SRO. And it's specifically made for the Echelon and those attachments. And then it's got that little, it doesn't really do shit, it kind of just gets in the way, to be honest with you. I just keep it on there because, look, I'll get it off for you. You don't really need it, that's just for people who are scared of getting dust on the sight, but I guess that's for people who use sights all the time. Anyways, back on here, there's these two, and this one right here. This one you can adjust, which will sway the gun. I can either move it more forward or more backwards. Me personally, the cheat I use in order to do that is I don't make it super tight right here, that way I can adjust it. But if you got a tighter belt, like for example, if you use this is a Ronin Tactics belt. You can see it's a lot thicker and a lot sturdier. If I was to put this one through here, it's locked into position. So that's when I can adjust the screws. But for this belt, I've been using it for over 10 years. It's been through the ringer, so it kind of is loose, but I like it that way personally. All right, next part. I use a little carabiner right here, and I put my gloves on it. You can hang other things like a chem light bundle or things of that nature, something like that. But basically I just use it for my gloves at all times. You can hook anything to this carabiner. And then right next to it, I use a 9mm pouch in order to put a Leatherman or Gerber in there. You never know when you're gonna need it, and if you're working on the range and you're dealing with guns and all that shit, you definitely need it. So I put that on there, and then directly at my 6, I have an IFAK. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know what an IFAK is. If not, basically it's a trauma kit, if we're gonna make it simple. Trauma kit that is ambidextrous, and by ambidextrous it means you can unzip from both ways. Now inside here we have stuff like hemostatic gauze, Z-fold gauze, elastic bandages, occlusive dressings, 14 gauge needles, NPAs, nitrile gloves, casualty cards, Sharpies, tape, eye shields, stuff like that. That's for just in case you're at the range with your buddies and he shoots himself in the leg or something along those lines. You'll see a lot of people running these upside down, trying to be cool guys and stuff. I'm not dogging them, man. Maybe it works for them. But they have it upside down so if they get in a situation, they can just pull it and it'll fall out the bottom. But I have seen a few times someone walking through the woods and dicking around, they turn and it catches right here on a branch and pulls and their IFAK falls out. And then guess what? Now you just look like a dickhead. So I put it on up in the middle like this because if I am in a situation where my arms get hurt or whatever that may be, bitch every time. My arm gets hurt, my left arm's done, I can pull it. Same goes with my left arm. My right arm's hurt, I can pull it like that. So that's the reason why I put it upwards, I don't put it down. Now, once again, there's a couple different IFAKs. This one's a little bit older, but you should definitely keep up on it. On this IFAK, I told you everything that was in it. There's a group out there called Focus Group, PHOKUS. They make some really good trauma kits. And it just slips right inside here. And I'm sure you can get this one here at Direct Action, like the actual holder for it. But this one actually, I lied to you about the Direct Action. That's my H harness. On this one's the Blue Force gear. You can go on their website. It's pretty simple. They have IFAKs. I'm pretty sure they have H harness. They have all that shit. But this is the most important thing on your belt, truly, because if you're out there shooting paint cans and you shoot yourself in the leg or in the foot or something like that, that's the way to go. All right, at the 7 o'clock, I got a beer can holder. It's basically an M4 or AR-15 mag holder. We call it the beer can holder because of the way you grip it. I'm about to show you guys. This is the oh shit mag. Like if you're shooting for time or something along those lines and you need to hit your target immediately. Instead of me having a chest rig on, if I was shooting, bam, 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 to reload, pull up here, no matter what I got going on, what I'm wearing, that's pretty fast. But the fastest you can do is a beer can pull, comes right into the gun. So I'm gonna show you guys why that is. It sits at my 7 o'clock because it's natural for my hand to come down right here and just grab it. Now I'm gonna rotate my hand and it's gonna come right into the mag well. Send it home, and because of my hand is like a beer can, after I send it home, my thumb comes up, boom, and now from here I can shoot, I can address, I can shoot as I come up and grab it. So just remember, think of it in an easy way, to go into your mag holder, grab it like a beer can, rotate your hand, and come down in there. You're welcome for that one, that's a good one. All right, now this is the biggest controversy here for most shooters, and I don't give a shit how you feel about it, so I'm gonna tell you why I do it, and I'm gonna tell you why people use it. This is what they call a dump pouch. Now, a lot of people use it just to look cool and do whatever. Hey man, I'm not judging you. If you think it looks cool, roll with it. But there's a reason I use this every day on my gun belt now, is because I'm at the range. So if I wanna put a damn spray paint can in there, I'll just drop it in there, because you guys know I've been shooting spray paint cans. Hopefully Project Source will sponsor me at some point. $2 a pop. Anyways, this dump pouch sits right here on my left side, canted a little bit, because I'm able to dump my mags if I'm at the range and I'm filming a video or something like that, and just drop them in there. Now, if I'm gonna be in a situation where I'm training for like USPCA matches in close quarters, I would never wear a dump pouch because it would get caught on things around houses and doors and stuff like that. It's loud, it gets in the way. But if you're just out at the range, which is what I'm doing, I use it to hold shit like spray paint can, extra ammo, extra mags, pick up trash, whatever that is. This is all this is just a holder for me. So before anyone starts attacking me saying you don't need that, it's pointless, it's just for cool guys. What I'm getting at here is this just holds shit for me at the range, man. So that's why I keep it on here. If I was training for the USPCA stuff, doing room to room stuff, I would take it off because it's too loud and gets in the way. All right, after the dump pouch, I got another carabiner, a locking carabiner type, the one that you can twist on and lock in. I'm not saying I'm gonna use that for if I was to be like picked up, anything like that. Long story short, I just use this for hooking into anything else I need. If I need to hook some gloves on real quick, or hey man, I got something, it's just another carabiner that I put on. Right next to that, right on the left, and this is probably the most important placement, other than your gun. Once you put it on, I like mine right above my pocket. A lot of people don't, that's fine, whatever you like. But when I'm using my pistol, let's say I go out, bam, I'm locked to the rear. The fastest for me is to pull it, mags facing forward, is to pull it out, I'm in, and I'm home, ready to go. So all of them are always facing forward, and I only carry 2 here because I got 1 in the gun, 2 here. If I need another one, I've had a really bad day. Let's just say it that way. So overall, starting from the front to back, I don't care how center this is. This could be off center. I'm not out here trying to impress people. Whatever my gun is set up on, however I want it. I got the gun, then I got the carabiner, then I got the mag holder, which I converted into a Gerber holder. And then right here, I got my IFAK. And my beer can holder, dump pouch, extra carabiner, 9mm, 45, whatever you need, just like that. Okay, so I know people will show you instructional videos on making these belts work and making it look all easy. I know a lot of gentlemen that use these kind of belts and it's not easy. Every time you do it, it's a bitch. So I'm gonna show you with a different belt. This has been my belt for, like I said, over a decade. I got the new Ronin one. You can see the difference in the thickness. So if you're wearing standard Levi's or something like that, it probably won't fit. Luckily, these Ariats have big enough belt loops in order to fit this belt, but I'm not gonna put it on all the way. When I'm putting this on, you gotta make this sucker kind of tight. So you gotta suck in that gut a little bit, pull it in, and overlap it over the top. And then when that new belt, you adjust this length in order to fit. And it don't matter if it's off center a little bit. I don't really care as long as my gun placement and everything's where I need it to be. I'm gonna show you guys a few tips on when you're putting things on your belt to make it a little bit easier for you. Okay. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a quick thing on taking these off. Now I'm not gonna do it on that belt because it's been through years of salt water and rain and just a long time. So in order for me to get that off, I gotta take a Gerber and pry it, and I don't think you wanna sit here for 15 minutes and watch me do that. So basically when you take this front part off, you're gonna wanna take that holder off as well. Let's say I'm gonna put on this one. This one's the same type of Safariland holder. It's for a Glock. It doesn't have anything for a light or anything for a sight. It's just got that thumb release level 1 retention. Now, when you put it on, I'm sure you guys can figure this part out pretty easily. Slide it to your desired point. I'm gonna put it to right there, so it's a little bit tougher. And then I'm gonna sling it back on. If your boy can figure it out, this part's always a bitch. All right, so make it a little bit tighter. And now this, I told you guys, this one's a lot sturdier. So when I put this belt on, the first thing I do is I make sure the gun is where I want it to be, and then I'll adjust the belt on the point. I don't really care if it's center point or whatever. I just care that my pistol holster is right here in my pocket. So that's the first part. Now a lot of the stuff you guys see like on the M4 holder and all this is from, I forgot the name of the company, Blade Tech. These are all Blade Tech. So these ones make it pretty simple when going over the belt. It literally clips over the belt and then clips in. You see it like that? That's it. Now you got a 9mm holder. Those are the ones I use on Blade Tech. These ones are pretty old. These are from Direct Action. These have seen the ringer. I probably need to get some new ones. You guys can see it's wearing out right now. But these Blade Tech ones are pretty nice because now I can loosen this screw and rotate it. Like let's say you want your holster to pull sideways or pull forward. I know some guys running some Gucci ways, so run it like that. Same with the IFAC, these little loops in here. Bam and bam. Comes with MOLLE attachments like for the back of these. You can see right here. I tape them to make it a little bit easier, but you just feed them through the loops and then back through themselves. You can put an IFAC on there. Now, I tried these ones from Blade Tech. I don't like them. I think they suck, but I wish I could get my money back, but I forgot to send the order back, and I ordered them like 7 months ago, just never used them. But anyway, these ones you can put over your normal belt, and they just slip over. They're just a pain in the ass. And you can, I just don't like them, if you want to be honest with you. I bought them from 9mm, they're fine, and then you can change by loosening and tightening these screws to be able to pull them out, whether they're looser or tighter. I just don't like them, I think they suck. But Blade Tech, if you want them. And then, some people run these kind of holsters. Right here, you can see it right here. These are Blackhawk holsters. I mean, they're cheap, they're the finger ones, they get the job done. But I can go underneath my belt like this, and it just sticks there. You can put it inside your pants, you can do it however you want, but let's say you forgot one of your holsters and you keep one of these in your truck, Blackhawk holsters. I don't like them. I wouldn't recommend, but whatever. No one's gonna listen to me. I can't even get it off. That's where I'm at with this. God, dog. All right. Anyways, that's a total build out of at least the one I use, and then I showed you guys kind of how I set it up on the brand new one through the MOLLE attachment and kind of setting up the pistol first on where you want it. But if we have any other questions about that, I think everything's good to go. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description of everything I have on my belt, because I know a lot of people are gonna ask, so just look in the description and we can find it. All right, guys, that ain't bad.